Yo, what's shaking? It's your boy, the Easy Man, new Double R Sani, Dot Mob representer all day in the fucking building. Right now, you rockin' with my nigga Mikey T. You heard me? Fuck with me, boy. Don't fuck with me. Records together. We did mostly mixtape shit. You know what I'm saying? That's another situation. That's just a homie. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy. You feel me? Like he saw what I was doing out there in the streets, and the buzz done got to him, and he extended his hand, which I was very grateful for, because he didn't have to do that. He gave me hospitality. We went on tour together. You know what I'm saying? Showed me how it was to, you know what I mean, be on tour and that kind of, because he got a different crowd than what I would have. You know what I mean? But we did some work. It's a couple of records with me and him floating around out here on the internet. But as far as, signing or anything like that, that never worked out. And it's not just because, fucking no business and none of that. It's just, somebody like me probably, it wouldn't have worked. You know what I mean? It didn't make sense, for me to be, signed in that situation. It just wouldn't have made sense to anybody. You know what I'm saying? But we still cool. I just actually seen Bow Wow when I was in Miami. Shout out to Bow Wow. Shout out to my nigga Chris Brown too. That's another nigga, you know what I'm saying? Show love and shit. Don't be surprised you hear me and Chris Brown on a record, me and Bow Wow, Chris Brown, something like that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We could definitely pull it off.
A lot of people are coming to support Chris Brown right now in this time of need.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't really know. And I know this whatever you want to call it, this shit has just been dragged out so much. It's him and the Rihanna situation. So I don't really want to talk on it too much, It's just, a young nigga put in that situation. I mean, anything happens, man. I'm not saying he don't have to watch what he do, because at the end of the day, you a superstar, So everything, you can't take a shit without somebody knowing, you know what I mean? So, but he just got wrapped up in his emotions, I guess. But he just a cool nigga, you know what I mean? When I'm around him, he just cool. There ain't really no. I don't see no sucker in him, you know what I mean? He just a young nigga trying to live his life, you know what I mean? Trying to get money, and I just don't like when motherfuckers is trying to stop a nigga from getting money. You know what I mean? It happened, the whole thing, but don't drag it out. Do 50, 60 interviews about it. Keep it fresh in people's memory. You know what I'm saying? About how much of a monster this nigga is. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. He just made a mistake. That's all, man. So,
Where'd you run into him? At Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? That was the first time I ever really, met the nigga and shit. And, I met him. We spoke. We was kicking, busting it up in the club. You know what I mean? That was basically how we met. You know what I mean? Chilling, and then, we exchanged numbers, shit like that, and hollered at him. He pick up. He ain't front, none of that. He picked up. A lot of niggas be fronting sometime in this industry, especially when you a young nigga. Like, when I was a young nigga, like, I was hard-headed. I mean, I'm still a little hard-headed right now, but I'm learning how to get out of that, and I'm learning how niggas is in this industry. You know what I mean? You might see a nigga in the club or anywhere you see a nigga, and everything be cool. Yo, call me. You call a nigga don't pick up, never. You know what I'm saying? Nigga don't hit you back. Niggas just be fronting. Like, if you gonna do that, just don't waste your time. You know what I'm saying? Giving a motherfucker your number, getting a young nigga hopes up. You know what I mean? I'm not too cocky for my own good. Like, I could take criticism. I'm a nigga that look up to a lot of motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? So I'll be on a nigga line. It's not like, yo, I got too much pride for this, or, I get on and now it's, yo, fuck you. I always make sure I show respect to the motherfuckers that did it before me, because, without them, I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't even be wanting to do it. But, if I feel disrespected, I still will let it be known, because I'm a man at the end of the day, and, no man gonna just disrespect me. That's dead. You know what I mean? But I definitely look up. But the industry is just funny. Sometimes you just gotta know how to move when you in this shit, man. It'll fuck you up if you ain't built for this shit, man. That's why I'm glad for the street that I grew up on, man.